Tonight on the nation's sharpest opinion, I'm back to talk to you about the case of a politician then from the BJP called Kuldeep Singh Sengar, ex-BJP, who raped a 15-year-old girl. 50-year-old politician, raped a 15-year-old girl, strong man, politician, connected to everyone. The victim fights and fought and continues to fight for justice. But there is a whole system out there. There's a whole system which includes politicians, unfortunately sections of the media, which are directly or indirectly supporting the rapist. Ladies and gentlemen, before I debate opinions, let me confront memory. Let me remind you, before people shaming the victim of the Unnao rape case, I would like to condemn the media networks, the news organizations that are giving an open platform to those who are shaming the victim. These are the media who need to be called out. You need to ask this media, why are you supporting a rapist? Why are you supporting a convicted rapist and a convicted murderer? There are people who give me lectures on journalism. I would like to ask those people who call others names, what kind of media do we have in this country which is openly supporting a rapist and a murderer? A person who at the age of 50 raped a 15-year-old girl, was defiant, killed her father, killed two of her aunts, and continues to fight her. But the amazing thing is, the victim in this case fights harder, and we're with the victim. I condemn the media. I condemn those media who are standing with the rapist. Ladies and gentlemen, why are they doing that? To make some political parties happy. That's the problem with this media. Always looking up to satisfy and make political parties happy. Those people who are trying to shame the victim of Kuldeep Singh Sengar are doing so on the sole premise that you have forgotten. And I need to ensure that you don't forget. Look at these visuals. This is the way in India today, a rape victim is dragged, targeted, dragged. She doesn't have a place to protest on a cold December night. She fights, she's kicking and screaming and saying, I want justice. The police, so threatened, targets her and removes her. I would have liked the police to stop saluting the person they call Mananiya Vidhayak, Kuldeep Singh Sengar, ex-BJP, in this case. Ladies and gentlemen, today you need to know, in case you've forgotten, who Kuldeep Singh Sengar is, what this case is about. But before that, let me remind you, 13 years ago, our nation burned with rage after Nirbhaya. Let's not forget these visuals. People ask me today, you're asking questions. I want to remind those people who ask me today why I'm asking questions. Did they ask me that question when I supported at the national level and launched a long campaign for justice for Nirbhaya? 13 years ago, this country burned with rage after Nirbhaya. Candle marches, placards, screams for justice. We as a nation said, never again, never again, never again. And let me remind you, at that time when we fought for Nirbhaya, Mr. Rahul Gandhi had gone missing. So I'd like to tell the Congress party, keep quiet and sit down. Sit down, Congress party. Don't you dare lecture us. We know what you are. Today, after 13 years, however, in the same city, on the same streets, we are seeing the victim of Kuldeep Singh Sengar and her mother being dragged on the streets. And I say, what has changed then? They're not being dragged by just the police and the law, however. They are being dragged, questioned and shamed on social media, on news agencies and news channels. The post made by the convicted rapist family member is being given more value, more traction than the victim's own testimony, even after the court orders. When people go to Jantar Mantar and hold placards pledging their allegiance and support to a convicted rapist, it is important that Republic picks up the case file and reminds you why this is horribly wrong. And I want to show you a few pictures, ladies and gentlemen. When you see people say, justice for Kuldeep Sengar, justice for a convicted rapist. This is the same country where we vowed after Nirbhaya never to let it happen. Today, openly on the streets of the city, people are coming and fighting for a rapist. And some people in the media are supporting them. What kind of people are these? I want to show you a visual here today. This is a visual of a crushed car on a highway. The car is the car in which the rape victim, her lawyer and two aunts were traveling to meet the victim's uncle who had been put in jail on cases filed by Sengar and his men. Ladies and gentlemen, a truck hit the car 11 times with a clear and murderous intention of killing the rape victim. Both her aunts died. One was a key witness in the case. I just want to say one thing as you see these visuals tonight to all of you. To all of you, remember these visuals and show these visuals to the politicians. And I want to know tonight in this country, my country, at the end of 2025, where are the netas? Where are the politicians on either side? BJP, Congress, Samajwadi Party, where are they? Do they think the people of this country will forget? Now, I want to tell you, if there's any gentleman from Gen Z, Gen Alpha or Gen Z particularly watching this, you may have been too young when this happened, but you are aware now. I want you to see this visual and I will simply tell you what happened. A 15-year-old girl, she was Gen Z too, but she was raped by a 50-year-old politician. 50-year-old politician raped a 15-year-old girl. When she fought, he killed her father. He filed cases against her family members. When she went to court to file a counter case, in this car, he tried to kill her. He sent someone to kill her, hit her car 11 times. 2 of her aunts died on the spot. It's a miracle she survived. But it's a greater miracle and a fantastic miracle that even today she is fighting. Ladies and gentlemen, we speak for justice for this and justice for that, but now why are entire political parties quiet today? Ladies and gentlemen, while there was an attempt to kill the victim and 3 of her family members, her father and 2 aunts were killed, this man, this convicted rapist, who is now getting support from some sections of the media, this shameless Sengar, continued to live like a king. Look at his smile out there. This is after he was convicted. He was smiling. And the politicians were calling him Mananiya Vidhayak, Mananiya Vidhayak. Look at the respect that he was given after being convicted as a rapist. High-ranking officers were bowing down to him. Look at the picture of that policeman doing namaste to him. Ladies and gentlemen, now again look at the truck that hit the car. Emboldened by the support of the political system, he's tried to kill the victim. The truck that tried to kill her had a blackened number plate, which was a clear murder attempt. Now look at these visuals on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Her father's body, the victim's father's body, lying lifeless in police custody on 9th April 2018. Post-mortem showed external injuries, multiple. So you have a victim who's being dragged. I want to run the pictures on 2 sides of the screen. The victim being dragged on the streets by the police today after having fought in such a way, a fight that cost her even her father's life. And I am asking today, where is the justice in this country? Where is the justice? Where are the people who say, we stand for you? Where are the netas who say, vote for us? The father died, the victim is fighting. Where are the big leaders and where are their tweets? Who is where today? Why is everybody looking the other way? Why is everybody pretending this has not happened? Do the politicians have any shame? One day before her father's custodial killing, this is what a rape victim and her family goes through in this country. I want to ask all the political parties who promised big things after Nirbhaya, where is their conscience and where is their spine and where is their effort? One day before her father's custodial killing, the survivors attempted self-immolation. Now I rewind further. The Allahabad High Court, seeing all this injustice, took suo motu cognizance of media reports and her father's custody deaths and directed the CBI to arrest Sengar within 14 days. And ladies and gentlemen, look at these visuals on your screen. The 2018 shots of Sengar with the police and the media. Just a day before the Allahabad High Court orders his immediate arrest, look at how he was roaming around this fellow Sengar. Unbothered, flexing his power. He had no fear of court. He had no fear of the police and he had no fear of the authorities. He was the court according to me. He was the police. He was the authority. I am told that These are not national issues. Arnab, why are you focusing on them? Then some people will come and tell me, what is your agenda, Arnab? Why are you focusing on it? I ask you today, there are media people who are writing articles. Why is Arnab asking questions? Well, I'd like to ask them, why have they kept their mouth shut? I would like to ask all those media who are quiet today, why are they quiet when open injustices happen in this country? And now people are saying, oh, Arnab, no, but you're a journalist, be neutral. I shall not be neutral. For neutrality is deliberately sitting on the fence on cases like this. So no matter what the questions today, the problem with certain sections of the media in this country is this, that they want to pick up stories and events in the way that it suits them. Sengar suits no politician, and the fake media in this country will never talk about it with the clarity of voice that we do. This is a question of justice if there ever was. Ladies and gentlemen, even now, there are certain politicians who say that, why aren't you happy? The Supreme Court has reversed the Delhi High Court order. Why are you raising it? Well, I will continue to raise it because I still want Gen Z, I want younger people, people who may not be fully aware about how bad people like Sengar are. They are the curse on the system, ladies and gentlemen. They are a shame on the system. But the tragedy is, we have allowed these people to feel that they are the system. And now I want you to go back to the visuals of the victim's father, lifeless. Ladies and gentlemen, if there is any justice, we don't need politicians to put out reels anymore. We need politicians to speak up when we expect them to speak up. Look at these visuals. I request all political party leaders to face us. And remember, at the end of the day, it is power to the people. When there is injustice to this extent, the people will not be quiet. They will be loud. They will be so loud that they will be heard. The people will be heard.